Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Leith's Math Hub. My name is Kalisha, and this is my little brother Lukul. Say hi, Lukul.
Hey guys! Sister,
Yes, Lukul?
what will we be learning today?
We will be learning how to divide fractions.
Dividing fractions? Oh, I know how to do that.
Oh, really now, Lukul?
Yes.
Let me give you one to do right now.
Oh no, sister. Let's not do that right now.
Haha, Lukul.
I am for real, sister, but let's still learn it for the interest of our viewers.
Yeah, Lukul. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys are ready to learn how to divide fractions.
They are ready, sister.
With that being said, guys, let's get right into the video.
Sister,
Yes, Lukul?
where are we?
We are in the hub, but to access this hub lesson, we have to say the password rhyme.
What is the password rhyme, sister?
You and our viewers will learn it now. Can you guys and Lukul repeat after me?
Come on, guys. Let's repeat after Kalisha.
Math's not hard, math's not tough.
Math's not hard. Math's not tough.
Open your mind and be open to try. It's just enough.
Open your mind and be open to try. It's just enough.
Numbers dance and patterns play.
Numbers dance and patterns play.
Think it through, you'll find a way.
Think it through. You'll find a way.
And if you're stuck, don't feel distressed.
And if you're stuck, don't feel distressed.
Mr. Leith Math Hub is just the best.
Mr. Leith Math Hub is just the best.
So hit that sub, don't miss a beat.
So hit that sub, don't miss a beat.
Join the fun. Math's a treat.
Join the fun. Math's a treat.
To learn how to divide fractions, we're going to look at the following examples. So let's say we have a fraction of a half divided by 3/4. Alright, so we're given this. To divide fractions, we basically take into consideration four simple steps. And these are the steps. Step 1, we basically just write about the first fraction. So the first fraction that we have is a half. The second step, we basically just change this division sign to multiplication. Alright, so we're just going to change it. Alright, and then the third step, basically, we find a reciprocal, which is basically flipping this fraction that we have right here. So since it's 3/4, we're going to put the denominator at the top and the numerator at the denominator spot. Alright, so we're going to go 4 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator. So that's the reciprocal, basically flipping the fraction. Alright, and then the final step basically is just to multiply this. And we already know how to multiply fractions. Alright, so we know that to multiply fractions, we can basically multiply across and then simplify after, or we can simplify first, then multiply after. Alright, you know that I like to simplify first. So when we simplify, remember, we only can simplify a numerator and the denominator. Alright, so in this case, we realize that I have a 1/2, a 4/3. But I can see that there's a 2 in the denominator of the first fraction and there's a 4 in the numerator of the second fraction. So I know that I can divide the 2 and the 4 because 2 can go into both of these numbers. So we say 2. So we say 2. So we say 2 into 2 goes 1 time, and 2 into 4. 2 into 4 goes 2 times. Alright. With that now, we'll look again and we'll see that there's nothing else that we can simplify. So let's go ahead and multiply across now. So 1 multiplied by 2, so that's going to give us a 2. So multiply numerators, multiply denominators. So it's a 1 multiplied by 3, that's just 3. So that means our answer is going to be a 2/3. So when we divide a half by 3/4, our answer is a 2/3. Why? Because we follow these 4 steps. Right about the first fraction. Let me give you some highlights. Right about the first fraction. Right about the first fraction, changes this division sign to multiplication. Then we'll find the reciprocal. And remember, reciprocal means that we're flipping the fraction. Alright, so what is in the denominator, we'll put it in the numerator. What is in the numerator, we'll put it in the denominator. Alright, that's how we end up with a 4 over 3 and not a 3 over 4. After that now, we already know how to multiply fractions. So what we do is that we just follow those same steps. Either we simplify, then multiply after, or we multiply, then simplify after. Alright, I rather to simplify first. If you believe that you want to multiply first and simplify after, you can do that. Alright, with that now, we'll just say, alright, we see a 2 in the denominator of the first fraction, we see a 4 in the numerator of the second fraction. So what we do is that we divide both of these numbers by 2, because 2 is a common factor for both of them. Alright, so we divide 2 into 2 goes 1 time, and 2 into 4 goes 2 times. So in that case, we end up with a 1 over 1 multiplied by a 2 over 3. There's nothing else that we can simplify. So what we do is that we just multiply across with the numerators and the denominators. So it's a 1 multiplied by 2, give us a 2. And a 1 multiplied by a 3, give us a 3. Alright, and that would have basically covers for that. Alright, let's look at the next example. Let's say we have a 5 over 3. We're going to divide that by 15 over 21. Alright, so we have this now. So we'll do the same thing again. Right about the first fraction. Change the multiplication, division sign to multiplication. Find the reciprocal of the next one, which is basically flipping it. So since it's 15 over 21, I'm now going to have a 21 over 15. Alright, I look to see if anything can be simplified. I see clearly that things can be simplified. Alright, what can be simplified? Let me show you. So this 5 can be simplified with this 15, and this 3 can be simplified with this 21. Alright, so I'm gonna do the simplification right now. Alright, so starting off with this, the 5, so it's a 5 into itself goes 1 time, 5 into 15 goes 3 times. Alright, so that's for that one. Then I say 3 into itself goes 1 time, 3 into 21 goes 7 times. Alright, so I've just do the simplification. There's nothing else that can be simplified right here. So I have a 1 over 1 multiplied by a 7 over 3. Nothing else can be simplified. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's multiply across. 1 multiplied by 7, that's just 7. 1 multiplied by 3, that's just 3. Alright, and that would have been our answer. Alright, so let's look at the next example. Let's say we have a 7 over 8 divided by a 14 over 24. Alright, so that's what we have right here. So alright, we're gonna do the same thing again. We have about the first fraction, 7 over 8. Change the division sign to multiplication. And then we'll just find the reciprocal, which is basically flipping it. So instead of 14 over 24, we're going to have a 24 over 14. Alright, so that's what we have. Let's look to see if anything can be simplified. Yes, things can be simplified. The 7 and the 14, the 8 and the 24. Alright, we could have also simplified the 24 and 14 because those are numerators and denominators. Alright, so remember, once there's a numerator and a denominator, we can simplify it. Alright, but let's go diagonally. Alright, so we'll say 7 into itself goes 1 time. Alright, let me use the color code. Alright, so it's 7 into itself 1 time. 7 into 14 goes 2 times. Alright, while we say 8 into itself goes 1 time, and 8 into 24 goes 3 times. Alright, so with that now, we'll just multiply across because there's nothing else that can be simplified. Alright, so it's a 1 times 3. That's going to give us a 3. And then 1 times 2. That's going to give us a 2. Alright, and that's our answer for that. So we're going to do one more. Alright, so let's say we have 11 over 6 and that's going to be divided by a 33 over 5. All right, we're going to do this again. What's the steps again? How about the first one? All right, change the sign. All right, and then find the reciprocal, which is basically flipping it. All right, so that's just flipping it. All right, we'll look to see if anything can be simplified. We'll look, we see that we can't do anything with the 6 and the 5. All right, so we'll try the 11 and the 33. Yes, we know that can be simplified, right? So let's simplify that. 11 into itself goes 1 time. 11 into 33 goes 3 times. All right, so nothing else cannot be simplified. So we know that's how we just have to work with what we have right here. So, all right, so 1 times 5, that's 5, and then 6 times 3, that's 18. All right, so that means our answer is going to be a 5 over 18. All right, so when we're given fractions, this is how we basically divide them. Right, but the first fraction, change the sign, find the reciprocal of the next one. All right, let's look at if we have a whole number and a fraction. So to start off, let's say we are given 14 divided by 28 over 5. All right, so if you remember from all of our previous videos, all right, whenever you're given a whole number and you're working with fractions, either you're multiplying them, adding them, subtracting them, everything at all that you're doing to them, the first thing you want to do is that you want to turn your whole number into a fraction. That's what you want to do. Or you turn any whole number into a fraction, if you remember clearly, just put it over 1. All right, that's what we do. All right, that's how we turn any whole number into a fraction. All right, steps remain the same now because we now have 2 complete fractions. So we have the 14 over 1, change the division sign to multiplication. Then what we do? Find the reciprocal. So say 5 over 28. All right, so that is us right there. So 5 over 28. All right, then we just do our normal division now. All right, so let's look at this. I see that the 14 and 28 can be simplified. So let me simplify that. 14 into itself goes 1 time. 14 into 28 goes 2 times. All right, so with that now, all we're gonna do is just multiply across because there's nothing else that can be simplified. 1 times 5, that's 5. Then 1 times 2, that's gonna give us a 2. Cool? Yeah, that's what we do. All right, look at one more again. All right, so for this one, just pause the video and try it. So we're gonna have a 9 divided by a 24 over 11. All right, so let's pause the video. All right, so I'm hoping that everybody have their answers. All right, remember, first thing we do, change this whole number into a fraction by just putting it over 1. All right, and then just write back our first fraction over 1, change the division sign to multiplication, then find the reciprocal. All right, so that is us right there. So we look through to see if anything can be simplified. All right, I see that the 9 and the 24 can be simplified. All right, 9 cannot go into 24 without leaving a remainder, you know. But there are other factors of both 9 and 24 that can go into both of them. That factor is 3. So we'll say 3 into 9 goes 3 times. And 3 into 24 goes 8 times. Alright, we'll look again, see if anything can be simplified. No, nothing cannot be simplified. So what we'll do is that we'll just multiply across now. 3 times 3 times 11 rather. That's 33. 33. Alright, 33 over 1 times 8, that's just 8. Alright, so we end up with a 33 over 8 as our answer. Alright, I'm gonna try 2 more. Let's say we have 3 over 5. We're gonna divide that by a 12. Alright, though the whole number is on the second part now, still remains the same. Changes whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. Follow our steps. Change right by the first fraction, 3 over 5. Change the division sign to multiplication. Then we flip or find the reciprocal of the second one, which is 1 over 12. Alright, so we just continue that now. We continue that now by just basically look to see if anything can be simplified. The 3 and the 12 can be simplified. So we're simplifying that by saying 3 into 3 goes 1 time, and 3 into 12 goes 4 times. Alright, nothing else cannot be simplified, so I just multiply across now. So I said 1 times 1, that's 1, and then 5 times 4, that's how much? 20. That's 20. So our answer would be 1 over 20. Alright, it's easy. It's easy. It's very much easy. 4 steps. Right about the first fraction, change the sign, find the reciprocal of the second one, then just multiply. Alright, and we already know to multiply from our previous video. Alright, so let's look at one more. We have 8 over 7. We're going to divide that by a 6. Alright, what you're going to do for me, you're going to pause the video. You're going to try this one for me. Alright, so put the 6 over 1. Then what we'll do is that right by the first fraction, 8 over 7, change the sign, 1 over 6. Alright, so that's what we have right there. So then what we do now is basically look to see if anything can be, simplified. So while we're simplifying, we look to see if numerators, denominators can be simplified. Alright, so we'll see that the 8 and the 6 can be simplified. So let's go ahead and do that. 2 can go into both of them, so I say 2 into 8 goes 4 times. Alright, and then 2 into 6 goes 3 times. Alright, so that now, we just say 4 times 1, that's going to give us a 4. Then a 7 times a 3, that's going to give us 21. And that would have been our answer for that. Alright, so let's now look at if we have mixed numbers. Alright, so to look at this, we want to explore this example. A 2 and a 4 over 9 divided by a 4 and a 2 over 5. Alright, so these are two mixed numbers. Alright, we already know how to work with mixed numbers. If you don't know how to work with mixed numbers, please watch the previous videos. Alright, from the starting. Alright, so change these mixed numbers into what we call an improper fraction. Alright, so by doing that, multiply the whole number with the denominator. So we say 2 times 9. 2 times 9, that's 18. And then 18 plus 4, that's 22. So would I have a 22 in the numerator over a 9. Alright, change the sign to multiplication. Let's not do that as it. Alright, let's not do that yet. So let's write about the sign for now. Let's just do the changing first. Alright, so it's a 4 times 5, that's 20 plus 2, That's 22 again over 5. All right. So these are the fractions. When they change the mixed numbers to improper fraction, this is what we have. All right. So we now have two fractions to work with that we are used to. All right. So we say, all right, how about the first one? 22 over 9. Change the sign. Then reciprocal. All right. See how fast we reach down here, sir? Let's do our simplification now. So we'll say 22 into itself goes one time. 22 into itself one time. So with that being said, now nothing else can be simplified. So we'll say 1 times 5. That's 5, and then 9 times 1. That is 9. All right. So that's what we have right there. All right. And that's finished. So when you have a 2 and 4 over 9 divided by a 4 and 2 over 5, our answer is going to be a 5 over 9. All right. Let's look at the next one again. If you didn't catch that. Let's say we have 2.5. 2.5 divided by a whole number of 5. All right. So let's say we have that. Cool. Let's say we have that. All right. So change the mixed number to improper fraction. 2 times 2, that's 4, and 1, 5. 5 over 2. All right. And remember, I said this whole number to change our fraction that we have right there. So, all right. We know that we don't have any changing to do for that. All right. So we can just go right ahead and just do the change of sign and reciprocal. All right. Because we don't have 5 is not a mixed number. All right. So we'll just do it right away to save ourselves or save time. All right. So we have this. So let's do our simplification now. 5 into itself goes one time. 5 into 5 goes one time. So with that being said, now we have a 1 times 1. That's a 1. And then 2 times 1. That's just going to give us 2. So our answer would be a half. All right. So 2.5 divided by 5. That's just a half. All right. Next one. We have a 4 over 3 divided by 4 and 2 over 5. All right. So we see that we still have mixed numbers. All right. But the mixed number is on the second side this time. So let's just do that changing. All right. I'm just going to write about the first fraction. Right about my sign. Then I'm gonna change this mixed number now into an improper fraction. So it's a 4 times 5. That's 20, and 2. That's 22 over 5. All right. So let's go ahead now and do our rules that we know that we just learned. Right about the first fraction. Change the sign. Reciprocal. Bam. All right. So look to see if anything can be simplified. Both 4 and 22, they are even numbers, so 2 can go into them. So it's a 2. I'm going to go back to my color scheme. So 2 into 2 into 4 goes 2 times 2 into 22. 11 times. All right. So it's a 2 times 5. That's 10. And then 3 times 11. That's 33. So that would be our answer. 10 over 33. All right, so this is one similar to what we did the first one. All right, so we're gonna have let's go a large number. Let's say we have a 3 and a 13 over 15. All right, don't panic as yet. Divided by a 2 over 5. All right, let's say we have this. So we know, let's change these mixed numbers into an improper fraction. All right. 3 times 15, that's how much? That's 45. All right. So 45 plus 13, we know that's 58. All right. Remember, make your calculator your best friend. All right. I'll just put that back over 15 divided by 6 times 5, that's 30. And then 2, that's just going to be a 32 over 5. All right, let's go our normal steps now. Now about the first fraction. Change the sign. Flip the second one. 5 over 32. Alright, so let's look to see if anything can be simplified. Alright, based on this, I see that the 5 and the 15 can be simplified. The 58 and the 32 can also be simplified because they are both even numbers. Alright, so let's go to the easier one first. 5 into itself, 1 time, 5 into 15 goes 3 times. Alright, these are even numbers also, so that means that they both can be divided by 2. Alright, so 5, well, not 5, but 2 into 58 goes 29 times. Alright, and then 2 into 32, that's 16. Alright, so that's our simplification right there. So there's nothing else that can be simplified. Alright, so with that now, we'll just say 29 times 1, that's 29. And then we just say 3 times 16, that's 48. Alright, so 48. Alright, and a little trick when you're multiplying a single digit with a 2-digit number, split the 2-digit number into 2 numbers that you know you can work with. So for example, like I'm working with 3, I'm dividing by 3. So let me put it right here. So I know that I'm working with 3. Alright, and I'm going to multiply that by 16. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to split 16 into 2 numbers, which is basically a 10 plus a 6. Alright, so what I'm going to do, and when we start algebra, you're going to see this when we're doing distributive law. I'm going to multiply the 3 times the 10 and then the 3 times the 6. Alright, and then we're just going to add those two together. Alright, so that's if you don't have a calculator. So I know that 3 times 10, that's 30. Plus, and then a 3 times a 6, that's 18. And if I add these two together, I'm going to get a 48. Alright, so those are little things that I do. That's why when I'm multiplying things, it just seems that I'm doing fast. What I do is I split it into numbers that I know that are sums that I know that I can multiply whatever number I'm using with it. Alright, so 10, 6 easy to multiply with. First with 3. Alright, so 3 times 10, that's 30. 3 times 6, that's 18. Alright, so then just add those two together, I get 48. Alright, so that's just a bonus to when we're multiplying numbers. Alright, but otherwise from that, dividing fractions, 4 steps. We have about the first fraction, change the sign, find the reciprocal of the second one, multiply. If you have whole numbers, well, not whole numbers, but when you have mixed numbers, 5 steps. Change the mixed numbers to improper fraction, then you just go to your normal 4 after that. Right, about the first one, change the sign, reciprocate the second one. Alright, then just multiply, and that's it. Alright,
where is this that we are at now?
We are at the end of this video, Lukul.
Oh,
Yes.
that was easy. I could have taught that topic.
Yes, Lukul. I bet you could have. Anyways. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know for sure you have learnt something from this video. Unlike someone.
You ain't talking about me, Kalisha. I am a math genius.
Yay, sure. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family. Let's continue on this journey of learning math together. See you in the next one.